Hey, alright. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to break down a beef tenderloin, which is where you get filet mignon from. This is the Angus one, about almost 6 pounds. A little educational video for you guys from Chef Z. I got a boning knife right here. Call it a boning knife because it bends, can go around bones, but it's real sharp, flexible. If you don't have one of these, you can just use a chef knife. It's just these are thinner blade, and it helps get the silver skin off. You'll see what I mean when I get into it. So I'm gonna cut it up out of its packaging. Put it down here. I'll take it over to the sink real quick. Pull it out, get some of that blood out. Alright, that's what she looks like. This is the most tenderest part of a cow, and one of the most expensive cuts. Not very fatty or anything. Lean piece of meat. Of course, it's going to have marbling on the inside, but not like beef ribs or something like that, or a chuck roast. You know, like that's why the restaurants charge you a good $30 or more a plate for it, because it is expensive. Here in Kentucky, though, it's not as bad. It's probably as what you guys pay up north. Like I said, this was about $9.98 a pound. So, but you got the head, is what they call it right here, and it goes all the way down to the tail, and pretty much visually self-explanatory. What I do first, spin around, I'm left-handed, is I try to peel any of the fat off I can naturally without having to use my knife as much, but to start getting down to the silver skin. See, like little chunks like that are peel right off, especially when it's cold. The colder the meat, the better. Alright, now this part is called the chain. And you could take, as you see, I'm taking my fingers and just really just pulling it apart. It's got natural, where the silver skin and stuff at, it lines it up naturally. So just like if you was breaking down any kind of piece of meat where the muscles meet and tendon, stuff like that, you could follow the natural, well, it divides it up naturally, put it that way. So you want to take the chain off first, and like I said, I got it all the way down. You just want to take your boning knife and just literally let the knife do the work. I'm not even putting any pressure, just following the chain down naturally. And it's going to come right off right there. Don't want to throw that away. It's got meat in there. You can cut it up if you got a meat grinder. Grind it up for burgers or stews, whatever. Or not stews, like chili. Next thing, you got the head right here, what they call it. This you can follow down too. Just pay attention to where you're cutting at. This is where it's a steak called Chateaubriand, if I'm pronouncing that right. It's what they serve at steakhouses, where they divide it up to feed 2 people. Sear it, you know. These are the real top-notch steakhouses that will serve something like this for 2 people. Everything would be like a la carte, meaning all your side items, stuff like that. So you'll trim up the fat, and see that right there sort of looks silverish. That's called the silver skin. You want to do 2 things. You want to peel back, but you also want to take your knife. That's why I'm using this thin bladed boning knife. That way you're not losing any of the meat. You want to be, you know, save it, because it's cost so much, save as much of the meat as you can. And just gently follow where it's at. And see, peel it off, not losing any of the meat right there. The silver skin, like I said, is how it attaches the muscles together. It's inedible, very chewy. If you do get a piece of it, you can't really chew it, you know. So there's the head part down. Now we'll get to the main body of the tenderloin, and you usually have this one big strip of silver skin right here. What you do is you want to just take your boning knife and go up as close as you can to the silver skin. Cut you back a little piece that way you can grab onto, and you want to sort of hold your knife at, you know, a little angle going up towards the silver skin, but you don't want to cut through it. And just, you know, start letting the knife do its thing. And I'm going up a little bit. I'm not going into, you don't want to go down into the meat. You're going up towards the silver skin. That way you don't lose any of the meat. So, once again, take like so, and I'm pulling, you know, I am putting pressure, and I'm just letting my knife glide, pointing up at an angle, taking it off just like so. Like I say, you want to get all the silver skin off that is on a beef tenderloin. The last thing you want, you know, you're paying top dollar for this. Last thing you want is to get, you know, a piece in there and somebody's chewing and chewing forever, and it's just going to ruin the whole experience. So, got all of it, get most of it off, and double check. Like any kind of little fat like this, you want to get, you know, most of it off. But, you know, if you're grilling it or searing it, even baking, roasting the thing whole or whatever, it's going to melt off. So, but right here, this is what it looks like. I'm going to flip over now. And then here's the bottom part. Now here are these little, let me see, I'll use this. Got these little chunks right here, little ridges. That's where the rib used to be attached to. So you can picture like the bone. Because the tenderloin is the underside of a cow where their back is at and the ribs are, but it's underneath the ribs, so it's a muscle that doesn't get worked. That's why it's so tender, hence the name tenderloin. Like I say, you know, nice piece of meat. Now as far as steaks, to me, I love a good bone-in ribeye, T-bone, but you know, people when they go out, they want to get a tenderloin or a filet mignon. You know what I'm saying? Because just for one, it's, you know, when you're going out, hey, look, I just had a filet mignon, and don't get me wrong, it's good. Does have some flavor to it. You know, I'm going to serve this with some red wine demi sauce, probably, which is like a red wine au jus in a way. Thickened a little bit with the roux, but that's another show. I'll probably top it with some blue cheese bacon butter. A lot of people wrap the cuts up in bacon. The steaks, I'll show you what they look like. But anyway, I'm getting off track here. You want to take where the ribs meet. You don't want to go take off too much, but you know, you want to take off some of this because it's just really just, you know, a piece of fat, but it does have some meat on the bottom part. Save it. You can use it, chop it up for chili. If you got, like I said, a grinder, grind it up, you know, for burgers, whatever you want, meatloaf. I mean, you know, you don't want to waste, especially like, you know, you're paying that much per pound, you know. So you just basically want to trim it up, make it nice and clean looking. This is what it's going to look like. Make sure you get all the silver skin. I'm taking my time on this one to show you guys, but I've did hundreds of these in my day, so, but I'm doing this for I have a personal chef business, so I'm breaking these down for a client. But that's it right there. So you got the head right there, and then you got the body right here, and then we're going to start cutting them into steaks. Like I said, I still have the chain. There's a little piece of silver skin. We're going to get that off of there. And people, you know, you can crust this thing whole, grill it, bake it, you know, then slice it real thin or whatever. But like I said, we're going to cut these into steaks. So what I don't have a scale, but I've did this a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this tail off right here. I'm going to save that. That can be roasted, you know what I mean, broke down or whatever. I'm going to start trying to get steaks out of these. This one's a sort of a smaller one, you know, as far as getting like big, thick steaks. You'll get them right here in the center and stuff like that. But see right here how it's smaller, it sort of narrows down towards the tail. That's just part of it when you buy it. But, you know, I'm going to guesstimate this one's probably about 7 ouncer, you know. I'm going to press that down, form it. You can wrap it in bacon like a steak. But like I said, that's the end tail piece. Now once you start getting to the center, this is where you get the nice cuts right there, filet mignon. And the reason I'm showing you this video, it's much cheaper to buy a whole one if you're going to cook for a party and actually do filet mignon than going and buying, you know, from your local grocery store where they have broke it down, of course, so they tacked on a lot per pound. So, and it's really not difficult, and you know, you get all the extra pieces, you know, that they use at the grocery store. When it's left, they'll grind this up and resell it. So, you know, why not buy one, break it down? I understand if you don't have time, but it really doesn't take too much time. Like I said, I'm cutting these about 7 to 8 ounces. Nice, delicate piece of meat. And the reason why they do charge so much at the grocery store or when you go out to a restaurant, because you don't, the yield, meaning how many you get out of them and what you pay. So, you know, of course they got to make their money back too. So